What if I told you that it was super simple to make the Brazilian cheese bread that you love in Epcot during the Food and Wine Festival in your very own kitchen? Well, it's true, and you and I are going to do it today. 6 ingredients, cheesy, bready goodness. Let's go. This video is sponsored by Give a Little Whistle Travel. I am getting this recipe from the Disney Epcot International Food and Wine Festival official cookbook. This came out several years ago for their 20th anniversary. It's got my favorite recipe for Epcot snacks all time in here, plus a gazillion other ones that I've made and enjoyed over the years. But we're starting with the Brazilian cheese bread. You'll find the recipe on page 77. There, it is well worn here. The book opens to that page. But this is chock full of official Disney recipes that you and I cannot do without. And when we're far from the parks, this is how we whip up a little Disney magic in our own kitchens. So let's head to the back counter here. We'll go over what those 6 ingredients are that you need. And find your blender. You're gonna need that. It's probably in the cabinet next to the sink, like in the back. Go ahead and grab that. The 6 ingredients that you and I need are super simple and might require a quick trip to the store. Most intriguing out of all of them is queso fresco. So it's gonna look like this. You're gonna wanna pick up a wheel of it. We're gonna crumble it. We need a 1/2 cup for this recipe. So you're gonna open up this little plastic container and just use your hands or 2 forks to crumble it. It's super easy to crumble. So one thing that I didn't realize about this cheese until I started making pão de queijo in my own kitchen is that it is good for literally everything. You can crumble this and put it on top of chili. You can put it in scrambled eggs. You can put it in an omelet. Soups of all kinds. This stuff is great. I love it so much. The other thing that you may need from a trip to the store is tapioca flour. You'll want to pick it up. A lot of your big box stores have it. Your local grocery store should as well. And if that first grocery store doesn't, likely the other one in town, the one you go to less, probably has it. It takes a little bit to find it, but once you find it and you realize how fabulous it is, you might just be keeping it on hand, especially when you want to make Brazilian cheese bread. Pão de queijo. Here's another thing about the pão de queijo that you and I are gonna make in our own kitchens. And no offense is taken to the team, given to the team at Epcot, but it's going to be better made in your own home, as most things are, right? Hot, fresh, out of the oven is going to be better than something that has sat around for a while that they've got to make in volume and have to have ready for like thousands of park guests at any time. While I fell in love with the pão de queijo in park, I'm head over heels over the ones that I make here in my own kitchen. They're lighter, they're puffier, the cheese is gooier. It's gonna be fantastic. So I've got my blender out and I've got my 6 ingredients. Let's go over those 6 ingredients real quick. 1.5 cups of your tapioca flour, 1 egg, 1/3 cup of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then 1/2 cup of the crumbled queso fresco, and 2/3 cup of milk. Once you've got all 6 of those ingredients out and your blender, you are good to go. The recipe starts off with us preheating the oven to 400 degrees and getting a muffin tin and spraying that with nonstick spray. So I've got my muffin tin, and we're not gonna need all of the spaces. Like, we're not making a dozen pão de queijos, although how fabulous would that be? So let me get into the cabinet here. I've got my nonstick spray. I'm gonna spray this down, and then we're gonna start tossing things in the blender. And don't make the mistake that I have done so many times. Don't put the flour in first, because that clogs up the little spinner, the chopper at the bottom, and you will have a log jam, and you will be digging down into those sharp spinners with a utensil. It's not pretty. Trust me. Let me spray this down. I've got things sprayed. We're good to go. I'm gonna place that over here as I clang it on top of my stove. Here's our queso fresco. I'm gonna start to crumble that, and we're gonna be good to go. I'm so excited. I love making this. I love making this. It's so easy. You know, it's fabulous with chili. So if you are making, like, if it's a chillier evening, or if you just get in the mood for like a pot of chili, this is a good choice. All right, here's my chunks of Pão de Queijo as I literally drop a chunk on my counter. This is how easily it crumbles, like so easily. So you and I are gonna just crumble a couple of chunks, roughly half a cup. We'll measure, we'll make sure before we put it into our recipe. It's moist, and it gets all over your fingers, but that's okay, because eyes on the prize, friends. We are gonna have glorious Pão de Queijo going on in our kitchens, and it's life-changing. It really is. It is. I don't mind saying it is absolutely, this stuff is life-changing. Okay, we've got our half a cup. I'm gonna pack it down just a little, because more cheese is always better, right? So here we go. There's our Pão de Queijo into my blender. And literally I have queso fresco all over the cookbook now. Let me wash my hands. Now, the original recipe says to put all these things into your food processor. I don't own a food processor. I hear they're fabulous, but I don't own one. And so I'm not going out to the store just so I have that one thing. I really don't need to use it. If you've got one and you use it all the time, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. Let me know down in the comments what you use your food processor for. I am fine with a blender. So I made this for the first time in my blender. It worked beautifully, and I've made it countless times since. So we are not stressing about such things. Let's put our 2/3 of a cup of milk into our blender bowl container. All right, I'm using whole milk. It's what I have on hand. I've used skim before, so again, we're not stressing. An egg, I'm just gonna crack it. I'm living fast and loose here, fast and loose. That goes into our blender bowl, and then we're gonna pour in our 1/3 of a cup of olive oil right inside. Look at everything that's going on in this blender bowl right now. It's a little bit of everything. And then we're gonna put in our 1.5 cups of tapioca flour. Oh my gosh! I've already got it all over my hand and my counter. Friends, we're baking again. We're here and we're baking. I tell you what. All right, I moved the angle of the camera down just slightly so that you could kind of see what I'm doing here. There's another 1/2 cup, and so we need just one more, and we'll be good to go. I tell you, I'm gonna put in just a skosh more because I think I was shorted one of those 1/2 cups to get us to 1.5 cups. And now, friends, comes to the smallest thing in this whole recipe, and really the thing that can throw it all off completely. I know from what I speak, because I have done on a couple of different occasions, I have forgotten the 1 teaspoon of salt. And when I tell you that I cannot actually eat the Brazilian cheese bread without it, I weep. Like, it's so sad when the batch comes out and I take my first bite and I go, oh crap, oh dear, I forgot something, I forgot that salt. It brightens everything up. It just makes everything just that much more savory. It's so good. So 1 teaspoon of salt goes into the blender. Please, friends, don't forget this. And as soon as if you do forget it, you'll know it, like instantaneously, you'll know. The recipe reminds us, which if you check down in the description box, you'll find the complete recipe straight from the cookbook, that this dough will be runny. So I love that they let us know, hey, heads up, we're not stressing, it's gonna be runny, and that's really okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start to pulse this And we're supposed to keep it going so that everything is well blended. Shake it around if you need to. Get a spatula in there to blend the tapioca flour that's on top if you need to. I'm gonna grab one of my spatulas and kind of just coax it to be happy. Get happy. Get in the pool, everybody. Let's go. Let me grab my already greased muffin tin here, and we're gonna start pouring it in. Here we go. You want to make sure to have them kind of even, and it says fill them about 2/3 of the way full, because as you will find out, these guys come out puffier than they are in the park. It's so funny. The first time I made them, I thought, oh my gosh, this didn't come out right. Like, this is so much puffier than anything that you and I can purchase from the Brazil booth in the fall at Epcot. But truly, and this is what that's supposed to look like. They're just a little bit the way that they are in the park, because I guess because they're making thousands of them. They're just a lot flatter, not as puffy. But my gosh, you and I are we're gonna be happy campers today with our Brazilian cheese bread. There's what we've got. I'm trying to make sure the camera's got them. So, my oven's ready at 400. We're gonna put it in for 18 to 22 minutes. The recipe says you want it to be light brown, and they're gonna be nice and puffy. So, into the oven they go. While I'm cleaning up the kitchen in between making the mess and putting the dough into the oven for our Pão de Queijo, I want to stop and say a huge thank you to Give a Little Whistle Travel for sponsoring this video. If you are wanting to plan a Disney vacation and you just want a little bit of help, someone to have your back in the whole process, why don't you reach out to Deb and her team at Give a Little Whistle Travel. They have been trained by Disney to help craft vacations that are exactly the ones that you're wishing for, whether you're going on a cruise or you're going to Disneyland or even Aulani in Hawaii or Walt Disney World. They want to be able to help you out. And hey, if you book a cruise, a DCL cruise through them, you know, if you've watched my videos, you know how excited I am to have a little onboard credit when I book through Give a Little Whistle Travel. I've actually spent my own money being a client of theirs, and it was fabulous to have that onboard credit in my account as soon as I walked on the ship. So if you're at all interested, be sure to reach out at givealittlewhistle.com. They'll get back to you right away. You can also call them on the phone. The phone number is here on the screen now. Many, many thanks to Give a Little Whistle Travel and for all the magic that they make. The timer is beeping, which means it's time for you and I to check on these little babies and see if they're at the point. Now remember, this is the 18-minute mark, and we've got between 18 and 22. All right, so they are not done. They're not golden brown, so back in they go. I'm gonna give it a few minutes, probably 3, because that's looking like what we need. It's time. We've hit the 21-minute mark here, so we'll take a little peek. Okay, getting there, looking puffy, but yet still not golden brown. Back in. While I'm standing here with my making puppets out of my pot holders, I want to give a huge shout out to the whole 9 Yards team. They are the Patreon team that supports this channel, and they are incredible. You can check out how to support the channel at patreon.com/Denny_Sunderly. All right, so I ended up with 23 minutes on here. Again, let's take a peek. Oop, they're getting there. I just want to show you real quick. There we go, baby. A little bit more. They're taking longer, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, we have now added an additional 2, so I think we're at 23, 24, 25. This is it, friends. Oh, this is not it yet. Babies, you being fussy. They are being fussy today. I don't know what's going on, but I do want them just a little bit more golden brown than this. Friends, it is now time. I've lost count. I think we're up to 27 minutes. I tell you. I don't know why they are acting up today, but we are done. We are good. These are, as it says, lightly brown, and they are indeed puffy, so we are good to go. We need to let them cool slightly on a rack. You can either do this by taking them out of the muffin tin, or you can just put the muffin tin on to the rack itself. Oh, they are so gloriously toasty, friends. They're so toasty. Look at that. Look at that. You see how they're bigger here in our home kitchen than they are in the park. They're puffier. I don't know fully what to attribute that to be honest. I just don't know. I just think that there's only so much that they can do there in the park, especially ahead of time, because they're not baking them there in that little booth. That's not where the magic is happening. It's happening inside the Disney kitchens, behind the scenes, and then coming out and hanging out in a warming box. So now we wait just a minute, and it says, eat warm. Gladly, Disney chefs, we will gladly eat them warm. Friends, it is that glorious time. It is time for us to dig into our Pão de Queijo. Look at this. This is only 3 of them. Remember, we've got 8. A full 8 of them. We are gonna eat them, but I wanna dig into one of these and just show you what it's like. There's the puffiness. Isn't that amazing? And ooh, it's hot. I'm trying not to burn myself. Here we go. Look at the steam coming off that Pão de Queijo. And all the cheese, I don't know how it happens, but it all magically settles there into the middle. And you and I, so look, that looks just like it is in the park, you know, that cheesy center. But these are hot and toasty, and you've made them yourself. And it's only 6 ingredients. Bon appetit. Let's not burn our mouths. It is hot, toasty on the outside, gloriously gooey on the inside with that cheese. If you want to reheat them, you can reheat them in your air fryer. If you have an air fryer, pop it in the air fryer, reheat it to that toasty goodness. I've done it before, I'll do it again, and it's fantastic. These are our Brazilian cheese puffs. This is what they are, just gloriously toasty, yummy, delicious. Do this, you want to eat them warm, to be sure, but you can make this when your family, like I said, is coming around a bowl of chili or soup, or if you just need a yummy Disney snack on an afternoon. So here's your question. Let me know down in the comments what Disney snacks you've had in your home. Have you made the Grand Floridian's chocolate chip cookie recipe? I'll link that in the description, the video. I'll link to the video that I made of me baking those here in my own kitchen. I've also got Disney's Wilderness Lodge's molasses crackle cookie. I've got a video up of me making those. All those will be linked in the description box. But which Disney snack have you made in your own kitchen? Let me know down in the comments section. And I hope that your day is just as wonderful and toasty and warm as these Pão de Queijo. Again, huge shout out to Give a Little Whistle Travel, our Patreon team here as well. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend, maybe a friend who needs a little Disney snack magic in their own kitchen today. You can follow me on Instagram at Denny_Sunderly. I'm also on the LTK app now, so download the app and follow me there for all of just what I'm wearing, what I'm loving, items I'm using in my own home, in my own kitchen even. Follow there. I'm brand new to it, so we're going to have a little fun over on LTK. You can also shop my merch shop via the link in the description box. And please, 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 friends, I hope that your day is absolutely wonderful. And I hope that you remember that you're worth stopping and making a little Disney snack in your own kitchen. Have a great one, everyone. Take care. Bye.